Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy HSR, and we are proud to bring you another fine edition of the Headspace Podcast, motherfuckers.
Yo, guys, even if it's cool, we are keeping it hot. It's Daemon for you.
Yo, what up, everybody? I'm actually kind of cold. She's keeping it hot. I'm keeping it cold, I guess.
To be fair, the window is open because we don't want it to get like stuffy in here.
Can I?
Oh, his
It's Chris
intro
Chrome,
is-
by the way. I am here. Just before they get talking and bantering, everybody, I'm saying hi.
All right, so this is an exciting week because as we started doing this, we've started caring more about the subjects, and Daemon came to us with a really interesting one. I don't know if you want to present it.
Yeah, sure. Actually, it's not me. I have to give props to the stream killer. I was asking him because I didn't know what subject, and you guys were talking about it. So I asked him, babe, what would you like to hear about, like current events? And he was like, oh, well, pretty big thing happening in the Dakota, the Standing Rock, like the pipeline issue. Like that was pretty big, guys. Like we've looked into it. It's mind-blowing.
This is something else. So, like, from what I understand, and I'll be honest, I didn't research this as much as I can, so feel free to correct us in the comments. But, so there's a pipeline that's supposed to be built to transfer oil or whatever it is from the North Dakota all the way down through South Dakota down into Iowa as the proposed pipeline.
Yeah.
The original route was supposed to pass by, I think it's Bismarck, Dakota or whatever.
Yeah, in 2014.
And then a whole bunch of controversy erupted because it might have contaminated this water supply next to this town of 60,000 people. And then this new proposed route that was a little bit shorter, thus saving some money, would have only gone within 800 meters of a native reserve's water supply, but technically isn't in the reserve, and so thus became the issue as the native people were like, yo, you can't do this, you're gonna...
At a certain extent, I feel like the main issue is still regarding the water and the conditions.
Absolutely.
So, I get it. You know, they're like, what, 1.5 miles away from...
Oh, it's even shorter, I think, from the water supply. From the actual reserve, I think it's a little more, but for like the lake or whatever it is that's next to the reserve,
Yeah.
I believe the pipeline is going within 800 meters of that thing. So let's say the pipe bursts.
It's contaminating the water.
Nonetheless, like there's always a chance. Like the reason why they're going with the pipeline, guys, is that it is one of the safest, but also more affordable way for them to transfer this.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
what was it? Like 45,000 tons of oils per day. Like that's ridiculous amount.
Wait,
and to consider
really?
the fact that they had that they have to do this through piping because it's less expensive. Really, you're cutting corners into what you're trying to do because it's less expensive to do any other way. So I can understand.
It's like the part where it really gets to me, and I have to admit a little bit of bias. Albeit I'm not like native enough to be like native qualified. Two of my great grandparents come from native tribes.
Oh wow, man! I didn't know.
suppose I have a little bit of affinity towards the situation here. Like, let's look at what really matters to me, at least. Is the fact that you've got this native community on land that's promised to them via treaties that we have systematically ignored. This is a group of people that has been systematically violated in an institutionalized way.
Actually, I did read in an article that two of the natives that were standing at the halt at the border stopping it, right? They actually said that they feel that natives are just extinct now, and nobody's really paying attention to them.
I mean, I have to say that I don't think that nobody's paying attention to it, but like it took us till 2016 for the Canadian government to even apologize for the wrongdoings it's done. Like the Canadian government kidnapped native children. At some point, they systematically executed almost all the husky population to keep the savages up north. I digress. It's very clear that the natives are an oppressed people, systematically done by the government in terms of, honestly, stuff like this pipeline. So they take like inches and they just a little bit at a time interfere with the promised situation. So there's sacred grounds involved here. Stuff that the government promised back in the day when they took everything else. We're not going to touch this line.
And I think you're trying to relate back to something we spoke about earlier before we started doing the podcast. How they're being systematically oppressed, right?
Right. Environmental racism, I think, is the word that I saw.
We were watching a video. You showed us a video.
We'll get to the video.
Oh, okay.
So I want to just touch on this environmental racism thing a little bit. What's really fascinating about this situation is how we go from a risk of trying to contaminate the Dakotan, like let's say white population of people, 60,000 folk in a city, their water supply might get contaminated. And then we proposed migrated route happens to be next to the water supply of a group of native people.
Kind of automatically seems like they're just making it superior.
Yeah, well, there's also the fact, okay, guys, there are other options here. Like, if you read up on how the pipeline could be drawn, like, now that it's been refused, if you want, like, they could go through the river, under the rivers, but they don't want to fucking take the time to, you know, calculate everything and make sure that the river won't fucking debunk the pipelines. They could go around, kilometers around.
Going around would be more preferable, but going through or under, either way, that thing bursts.
Let's just say the entire ideas of pipelines.
You're still gonna burn.
Pipelines are just freaking risky, man. Like, I don't know. Canada has its own version of pipeline talks going on. Trudeau has always supported it, so anyone who ever thought he was lying, no, he campaigned that he would support this pipeline. But in general, let's say the pipelines, we can all agree here, at least, it's probably not the best idea for the environment, because as long as it bursts, it literally fucks up everything around it.
Do you know what happens in the ground?
Can you please tell us?
So you guys, like, okay, basically, if the oil seeps through, and this is, like, imperative, it will happen. Like, there's no going around it. There's no preventing it. There will be seep of oil going through. The oil will go through the ground. It is heavier, so it will go into the water stream. Is that what it's called?
We can call it that.
Sorry, into the
water under the ground somewhere.
The water reserves, the water source under the ground. And what it does, the oil evaporates into the ground, creating this this gunk, like peanut buttery type paste that just resides there and continuously, like, makes the water source toxic. Like, they'll never have clean water again if this shit goes down. So
clearly it's inevitably that we're fucked.
It's just basically it's not safe, and no matter how safe they make it, there's always going to be the risk and likely risk that something bad will happen to the natural environment around it.
It's not even a risk. They can't prevent it. They're like, they cannot say, can you be certain that no leakage will be done with
Absolutely.
this? It's not possible.
So what ends up happening as a result of this, because not only, I mean, it's going to fuck with the water supply of these people. So all the native groups all around the area kind of banded together to create this camp for protesting. And this is a truly amazing phenomenon. Now, you got to understand that a lot of these native tribes have beef that makes hip-hop look kind of weak. We're talking about people that would actually run up and do the things that hip-hop pretends it would do.
Ouch.
No, they'd go right up you and, like, chop your head off.
No, it's true. It is true, though.
So they have, like, real, I don't know about the chopping heads off, but let's say there's real disdain.
No, okay, I'm sorry. I can't say
there's,
that's
like,
true.
certain disdain between certain groups to a point of real, like, not niceness. And then we see all these people instantly unite.
Like, banding together as one.
A common goal of trying to fortify their movements and protect their lands and being like, no, we've had enough.
I somewhat believe that they're actually doing it out of proper will. They're actually banding together because they believe in something.
No, they're putting aside their differences.
That was like the next thing I was going to say, man. It's not that you want to believe it. I can attest from everything I've seen that this has more or less been a proactive, peaceful protest. Meaning that there's not really been violence. We'll get there.
Okay, yeah. But well, at the start of it, yeah.
Been not even really. It's been more or less a peaceful protest. These people have been sharing with each other. They've been building a community. They've been encouraging anyone to come with them. And if you show up, they will feed you. They will clothe you. They will make sure that you are taken care of in the solidarity of helping them. And it's been quite an interesting phenomenon to see such unity and positivity and proactivity to a point where it has caught on and become a global phenomenon, although perhaps there was some less peaceful moments in the protest. I mean, there was clearly that Amy Goodman video that surfaced.
That is just different.
So yeah. The thing about the Amy Goodman video is I don't think it's a real reflection of the entire protest.
I think it was entirely just for her.
No. I mean, okay, this is an interesting one. I think that the Amy Goodman video is like this.
We're going to link it below, guys, by the way.
Absolutely. Although you guys have probably seen it because this went all over. But, like, the short version is this, like, super activist celebrity type shows up with her camera crew, etc. This cute little old white lady. And she's dramatically going on about how there's bulldozers and there's thises and there's that's. And then at some point, the protesters crossed the line of property onto the private property, which is unfortunately
trespassing.
It's illegal. So whether or not it's righteous or morally okay, I don't care. The fact of the matter is, at that point, your protest is now no longer peaceful.
Okay, but...
Yeah, but all of this started how, though? Like, how do you...
Let's just, like, before we go into any real analysis, following this, we see reports of violence and pepper sprays and mighty men on horses trampling around. And honestly, this, like, 7-minute video is edited to death to sell a story. And I got real mixed reviews on it, right? Because I don't think it really sold the right parts of the story, right?
No. It didn't. It's a little hard to believe, because who says they wouldn't act the way they acted?
If the camera was not there.
We can agree that, you know, you want your 15 minutes of fame, your 5 seconds of fame, if you want to call it literally. But to a certain degree, this is a serious issue to them, and they believe in it.
Absolutely.
So who says they wouldn't have acted the same way? It's just, I feel it's a little bit more dramatic because it's been documented.
So I got a theory on why this violence may have erupted. Now, I want to preface this all to the haters that this is my speculation and I am basing this off of nothing more than feelings, but I think I'm right, so you can tell me why I'm wrong. But I think that the presence of this celebrity white woman with her camera crew documenting their plight more or less created this mob mentality situation and more or less incited any violence we saw. And then her crossing over and documenting it and her trespassing and her joining them only further validated. You gotta imagine, these are an oppressed group of people who are fighting literally for their land, their lives, and their perception, and then all of a sudden the mighty white woman with the camera shows up to give them media exposure. It's like a fucking wet dream. Of course they're gonna get a little excited and rowdy compared to the average day.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you have to go and jump the fence.
Yeah, but that did not, I have the feeling that it wasn't even, like, if you notice in the video, there was not just Native Americans, there were also, like, people that were being included in the tribe and felt like they were part of the tribe. And you notice that those were mostly who talked.
Out, man. It's basically a bunch of white people.
Yeah, sorry, white people.
I said it.
But, yeah. It just seemed like they had the time to talk, and the two, like, Native Americans that really gave their words were like, no, this is for the, like, the good of the people, like, this is not how we,
no,
like...
man, it was that, like, white woman who got fucking pepper sprayed in the face and was on
the
her
corner
knees,
of the eye, and
then when she does her, like, fucking fist pump at the end, she fist pumped, man. That woman was like, this is my 10 seconds of fame. My mom's gonna see I'm a hero.
That was scripted.
That is...
I feel like that was highly scripted, like...
I genuinely don't, but go on.
It just seemed too normal, the way she acted. She was really pepper sprayed.
Like, have you never met these activist types, man? My Facebook is littered with them. Some of them I respect, most of them I don't. Because often they like the idea of, like, riling themselves up to be part of the cause more than they give a fuck about the cause. And thankfully, one of the good ones shared an interesting article I read that was almost like criticizing this group of, like, people who were going down to Standing Rock and basically treating it like this crazy drug-fueled Burning Man experience. And, like, so, like, on the one hand, you have all these native people who are genuinely fighting for what they believe is their lives. And you got a lot of people showing solidarity in a good way. But then you got a lot of other people who are coming into a situation like this to use it for selfish fucking purposes. When I see
that's just mob mentality.
Yeah, no, that's fucking social media these days.
Maybe.
Like,
I still think it's selfish. Like, this is the person who basically goes to a terrible event for their gain. Like, look, this woman is a journalistic reporter. She went into a crisis situation before it got any real hype and basically got the big scoop.
Has there been any celebrities in these things? Like, how many celebrities showed up?
I think Jill Stein showed up before.
Okay.
So Jill Stein being the U.S. Green Party leader. Okay. So it makes sense she would. I don't know enough about the celebrities who showed up because typically I don't give a shit about it. Unless it's anti-flag at Occupy Wall Street. That was really cool because they were, like, playing in the streets and shit. But, but no, like... I have a real problem with how it's almost like this white woman came in and used the plight of these natives to push her own corporate agenda when she put this video.
Like
that's just her job. Like I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it, but it's partly her job to get a story.
No, it's like she wanted to get something on the fucking news.
But then there's the part where after she got arrested,
yeah,
everybody jumped on the bandwagon. Like, oh, this is censorship. This is awful. Look at them taking her out. She's just trying to report the truth. Blah, blah. And you know what? I am guilty. I actually shared a status, and this dude, Greg, called me on it. I watched the video, and I had to delete the status. I don't like to delete statuses very often. Or I rewrote the text or something, but it was like I couldn't even stand by what I originally wrote because it was preposterous to me. This was a media ploy on her end. And then the world jumped on it, like exactly what she wanted, and this woman got more fame and more power to fight for what she believes in.
Was she an actual reporter that somebody
she's
knew,
some like famous activist lady, so I'm sure she's really popular with the social justice warrior crowd.
One of those granny,
I love it when he says that, social
Quakers.
Justice warrior crowd.
Social justice warriors tend to not like people like me.
No, they tend to not like people like me either.
It's okay.
No, but okay. I do have a huge problem with the piggybacking off of real causes. Like, I've criticized protesting a lot in general. And my biggest criticisms of protesting are the people who treat it like, well, it's Friday night, we're going to go protest, it's the thing to do.
So what, it's just another hobby?
To
a lot of people, yeah.
You can't protest for nothing. You have to have a reason to protest. And quite frankly, like, I look at a lot of these problems that go on, and even in here where we're in Montreal, when we protest. I get it. You're protesting for the taxes and the tuition fees and all this.
Okay, let's be clear. There's a difference between the university student idiots who are protesting austerity without knowing what austerity is, and like the Black Lives Matters protests of people who are actually protesting. I want to like differentiate.
Oh yeah.
Because like Montreal is an embarrassment to the world of protesting.
Yes, it is.
Now, not to get me wrong, I know a few people involved in this protesting scene, and there are legitimate people legitimately pushing this type of shit. But
no, I'm feeling more
there's
like
a very pops. No. I'm saying.
I know. I have a lot of friends that also participate in a lot of protests, but I always felt like it was for the sake of doing the act of protesting.
I know people who are almost militant with it. Like, I know people who genuinely believe it. But my feelings on protesting typically have been, it's not effective in 2016. Because you roaming around the streets and making noise doesn't really change much, in my opinion.
Not anymore, at least.
No.
I think there's so many more productive ways to approach it. But then this Standing Rock thing happened, and
that's an actual legitimate reason to stand up, unite, and
even
fucking
still,
stand ground.
I have to admit that as this was happening, I had my typical like shade of skepticism towards protesting. Really? But then after we picked this idea and decided to talk about it, we all woke up on Monday and got the news that, well, at least for now, it's been halted entirely.
Well, it's sort of been halted because it's not really...
for now.
Yeah, well, what they did is that the military engineering team basically closed off the road. Yeah. They never specifically said that this project would be completely stopped. See, what happened here is while Obama was making the decision to either accept the project or not, there was a mandate from court. Like, they went into court and actually went through before Obama could fucking make a decision. So they managed to get there. That's how they got the dig sites going started. And like all of this because like Obama didn't make a decision. Now he actually decided after all of this shit happened to, you know what, guys, like you've been heard. Right. Is what he said. Those were his words.
Wait till Trump gets in, because he's actually pretty for the pipeline.
Look, all I'm saying, man, is don't make speculations like that unless you really know.
Because you know he stopped, like there were two huge toxic programs that he said that he was going to stop, although he didn't make any specification towards the Dakota Pipeline.
I just think Trump is a really strange hot topic, and none of us can truly know what's going to happen. Yeah. So I'd rather let him get in, and then we can talk about Trump. But in the meantime, the media has been playing a devious game. But let's go back to the media then, because I think it actually ties.
It is a distraction.
It's like this Amy Goodman video really bothered me, but I also at the same time believe that this Amy Goodman video was the catalyst of the real widespread nature. Like, I didn't care about Standing Rock until I found out dogs were biting people. And then I was like, oh, I should look into this. And then I did. And then I got more informed and it became an issue I started
Dogs
following.
biting people kind of just reminds me of the pit bull crisis that was going on before.
Well, the pit bull crisis has absolutely nothing to do with
it has no
with
relevancy.
this.
I'm just like...
So in Montreal, we have some serious pit bull laws to look into, and we can talk about that maybe in another time if you guys care about it.
We will talk about that another time. I'm just saying that it didn't really affect me knowing that people were getting bit by dogs.
No, but this is like security guards using dogs to bite protesters.
Protesters that cross the line.
Yeah, but it's just not the same thing as a random dog biting a person.
I get that, but these are protesters who theoretically cross the line.
Chris?
So are you saying that there's a circumstance where it's okay for people to use dogs on people?
No, I'm saying there's a consequence to any action that you do.
Guys, yeah, okay, if you were a private owner to a private land, I agree. However, this was security. This was people to act like a person to protect and serve and make sure that everything remained calm.
Chris.
In all of these videos that I've seen, not once have I had faith in any of the security, police, military, or those guards there, because they did not act like security. They were acting like people who own dogs and just like antagonize and being belligerent and just like...
I don't want to necessarily judge the security force per se.
It wasn't done professionally,
because
I'm sorry.
I don't know enough about security, but what I can tell you is that it's a little bit fucked up that so many people came back with dog bites. It was enough to make me be like, whoa, what is going on? Now, I got to agree with Chris a little bit. These people did not help their case, and when they crossed that like picket line or whatever the right word is, and went onto the property they weren't supposed to be, they did antagonize it. I don't think it justifies it. It doesn't
justify the bite marks, I'll admit, but in a general aspect or a more open-minded aspect, you make an action, there's a consequence, regardless of what the consequence is.
I guess that ethics comes in.
I admit
why is the consequence dog
But think of it
biting?
this way. This is very dramatic. I'm being extremely dramatic, but it's like, what if somebody got tased? Then that would be a different entire story.
Well, why? I would rather somebody get tased than bit by a dog.
Why?
Well, that's just 10 times worse. You're actually getting physical damage to you, not like...
Both ways you're
tased, you're getting shocked and it probably hurts.
It's still... My apologies, but you're still getting physical damage.
Right, but like it's a little more controlled, man. A dog comes at you savagely. It could rip your fucking throat out, dog.
You can't control the force of the dog.
Let's just say the dogs weren't running around savagely in the video. I'm looking at it from the video's perspective.
But we also didn't see dog bites, so we don't actually know. We just know that this is what was shown.
Well, there was one guy that had blood on his arm.
Yeah, but
he had blood on his arm.
We didn't see the context of how the dogs were sick. I don't want to judge the security because I don't know. I know that they had to deal with a situation that they didn't want to be in, for sure.
Yeah, but they should have understood that there was
the cameras were on, which always increases tension, especially if you're not a trained professional.
Yeah, but there's also like...
In like regards to like police and people who we would otherwise judge for it.
You know, like for the number of people that were present, I assumed there would be more security if that was so much. It's like the government decided, or the corporation that wanted to build there or dig there, decided that they were not enough of a threat to even worry or put any security enough to, control that from happening. They put what, barbed wire? Seriously,
well,
a wire.
At the same time, I don't necessarily believe they should have to put more than barbed wire because, for the most part, this has been an extremely peaceful protest. I want to emphasize that again. From what I can tell, there's not even alcohol being drunk by the natives. All the intoxications was the tourists who showed up to party. Not like the actual protesters were really cool about it. So when you have outside influence, from what I can tell of the native communities, right? And I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but there's a high level of, let's say, societal ignorance. So you got to imagine that without the regular exposure to the types of things we're used to, it must be really easy to rile these people up and to say the right marketing catchphrases and cheesy shit to energize a room of people who are, even the basic things we say that we take for granted might bear a completely different significance to them.
They're also, to be fair, they're also being alienized. Who wants to live it by that way? No, okay, you want to make the choice? Okay, go in that corner. We'll leave you this corner.
But at the same time, they do want they want the corner.
They could take that corner, but have you realized lately that corner keeps getting smaller?
Absolutely.
And smaller and smaller?
No, it's even worse than that.
It's disgusting. It's
in Canada alone, I've looked into it a bit, and on top of like the non-stop fucking sex issues where like RCMP officers and SQ officers are fucking native chicks raping them, sex rackets of like prostitution that's going on.
That's fucked up.
Not only
on top of all of
that's
that.
That's like next level fucked up shit.
Then there's like, let's go more local.
There's like
how do you treat, like, this is going to go anecdotal. We live in Montreal. We have a part of town called Atwater, and there's a lot of natives there who are very inappropriate in public.
Oh, wow, yes, I know who you're talking about.
When you think about it, we generalize these people. We often don't really empathize. We don't talk to them. We just look at them and judge. And I know this because all over our internet, all over Facebook, anytime one of them does something crazy, Montreal Blog or one of those dumbass fucking sites pushes it all over, and they're like a running circus to us. On top of the fact that, like, we look at Ganawage, our local reserve, as a pretty okay place because they sell a bunch of cigarettes and it's pretty legit.
I like it there.
Pretty cool.
But they are not the reflection of reserves. They don't reflect anything. Most reserves are poor. And from what I understand of Canada, like when welfare and stuff is involved, if you're native, you end up making less money in general. You get less. So you have these poor people who are given less resources, less anything, whether or not they fight for it. And then as time goes on, we judge them for being ignorant rather than understanding why they're ignorant. Like, it's a long and complicated conversation how all of these folks ended up being in the situation where they are. And
oh, man.
I would love to have someone come in and we can talk about this and turn it into a real issue. But I would like to save like the real native talks to have a native person here to represent it.
I would really appreciate that.
But
would be awesome.
In general, it's like across the board, we treat them poorly. And this is just another violation of that infamous treaty that was signed back in the day.
It's like we're constantly bullies, like poking with a stick and just seeing if you're going to react and just like checking out, like, are you going to react? Are you gonna do anything? Hey, nah. Okay, am I doing this? Am I taking an inch, a mile? Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
let's see if they react. Let's see if they actually notice.
That's what bothers me the most, and this is like a general thing for anybody in the world too. If you're gonna keep poking at something, don't be surprised and shocked when it fights back.
To play devil's advocate,
really
guys.
Fight back.
No, but to play devil's advocate, the situation in 2016 is a little more complicated because there's a lot of egos involved in this, right? So you have, because they don't pay taxes, and that's why they don't benefit off of. No, but that's why they don't benefit off of the social services, because it's. When you pay taxes, you get the social services.
Yeah, but not only that, it's like the only way they could get that is if they live on the actual reserve. So it's like you cannot get these exemption cards if you do not live on the reserve. Which is
absolutely fair in my opinion.
Well, if ever they leave or they meet someone or something like that, that's it. They're screwed. They can't continue. That's one of the main problems I have. It's like really, either one or the other.
But like from my point of view, it's just like emigrating to another country.
That's exactly it.
But it's like emigrating anywhere. I mean, if you were to meet somebody and leave the reserve,
considering the fact that we came here and decided that we wanted this piece of earth, and then after that understood and just
this is like Israel Palestine. I feel like we could easily
I'm sorry,
swap.
guys.
No, but like it's like these are all really valid points. But the problem is that when you run it all down, it's not that simple as pride and ego and what's right and wrong.
Initial conversation and the final results are very complicated to talk about.
But when we go on to the Dakota Pipeline, I just want to point something out. It's actually a moment where protesting apparently has been effective, because I did touch earlier on the fact that I felt that protesting in general was ill-effective, and this was a highly peaceful protest, aside from that one video and any other propagandist footage that might be out there. Because if it was really that bad, Fox News would be all over that shit. But in light of the fact that it was peaceful, and it was heard, and the movement kept growing, and it just took so long, but it happened.
It took 8 months.
But the fact that it happened, actually, it took 2 years if you think about it.
No, well, since they started, like, the protest, it took 8 months. But yeah, since 2014, they've been trying to drill that freaking pipeline, and they're still trying.
Since 2014, that guy leading the charge on the native side has been actively pushing to ensure that the entire... Wow, I just fucked that up. And since 2014, the native guy has been actively pushing to like stop it over the exact same reason. It's like, it's ridiculous that this one group's water supply. I feel like we're being a little bit redundant at this point. And I'm not gonna lie, Chris is dancing in his seat because he needs to go pee like a motherfucker. So we're gonna take a quick little break here. And then we're gonna change the topic up to something a little bit lighter because we went ahead and bumped a whole new album for the review. I'm sure you know what it is because of that YouTube title, but we'll be dramatic when we get back.
Dun, dun, dun.
When I listen to all of the things Jimmy says.
We're gonna close the door. Hey Chris, what do you think about the situation of the kangaroos in Australia?
What situation?
I think that the kangaroo should, honestly, two things.
Okay.
I think that the kangaroo should have never fucked with the dog because the owner punched the kangaroo in the face.
Oh, you saw that too?
Yeah, that made me laugh super hard. But quite frankly, I mean, on an honest point, the man should have watched his animal. And it's the same type of scenario I felt with Harambe and the kid.
I don't understand what you mean about the washing his dog.
Are we going to talk about Harambe?
No,
Is this a prelude?
No,
Bro, I wrote a whole video criticizing motherfuckers like you.
I'm not criticizing. This is a simple thought. This is just how I think. Quite honestly, if the man watched his dog and if this person was watching the kid.
I have a question.
Oh, watched.
Okay.
Watched,
okay,
yeah.
we're doing this?
Okay, I heard watched.
I have a question.
Oh my god, here we go.
Have you ever been around kids?
Yes.
Okay, have you ever had 4 kids around you at once that you had to watch?
No, and I completely get that.
Can you imagine that this kid had been basically talking about it for ages, how he wanted to go play with the gorilla? He had been actively trying to go play with the gorilla. She had been actively momming and saying, no, you're not allowed. And then just picture anything that could have distracted her enough for the 2 seconds for the kid to bounce out and dart for it.
Like all the shit happening, you're trying
like
to.
Like you're
anyways,
at a zoo
yeah.
with 4 kids. All I'm saying is judging this woman is ridiculous.
I'm not judging.
Maybe the kangaroo dog guy don't know enough about the context. Maybe it's legit. Maybe.
I'm not trying to judge the woman or anything. I just feel that.
No, you judged the mother. You went at her.
No, because I also judged the dude. No, I also judge.
No, but judging the guy with the dog is possibly different.
But judging the dude, I just feel like if you've got something to take care of, I understand it's complicated. I understand, and I'm talking this as somebody without kids. So I know that there's a lot of people out there who's gonna be like, no, you don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
I'm admitting that.
Have you ever not been responsible for anything and had anything bad happen? Something
I guess it's like your level of bad. I've been responsible of like kids. I've been responsible of certain things.
Okay, but like let's say you were a camp counselor and you had 15 kids.
I took care of 2 teenagers.
And what if one of those teenagers?
The worst thing that happened, dude. The worst thing that happened didn't happen to the kids. So that's good on one part. That's like the worst. Dude, the worst thing that happened, okay, in the entire week that their mother was gone, didn't happen to the 2 kids I was watching. So I was completely fine with that. And to be quite honest, the only bad thing that happened with regarding this thing...
Have you ever dealt with little ones? Because little ones don't listen.
Like under
teenagers are going to be like whatever, but like little ones, dude, little ones are just fucking like balls of energy. And if this kid was like 4 or whatever the fuck he was, and he went at that gorilla's cage with like all the excitement and joy of waiting all this time to see the gorilla, even if his mother said no 100 times, he can't help it because he's 4 and he has no mental cognition to be aware enough. And the mother, what if her other kid fell down? I don't know, dude. Now you have to choose between what, like strapping the kid on a leash, the kid's not allowed to run around, and what's the point of going to the fucking zoo then? I mean, it's such a complicated issue.
I've seen kids on leashes.
I hate it when I see kids on leashes. Daycares walk the fucking leash of kids up the street to avoid motherfuckers like you judging them.
Okay.
That's what happened. You turn kids into dogs.
I apologize.
Anyway, so we're back, as you can probably tell. And that was a side tangent on Harambe and kangaroos and the guy's dog, of which we don't know what happened.
The kangaroo held the dog like on its hind legs and was jumping around, and the dude was like, "Nah, fuck this shit. Let go of my dog," and walked up to the kangaroo.
Get the dog?
That's part of the thing, but irrelevancy. He walked up to the kangaroo and went,
"No, that part I saw."
And the kangaroo
I saw the video. But I didn't see how the dog ended up with the kangaroo.
Yeah, me either.
Oh no, the kangaroo had the dog in it.
Had him. Where a situation was already happening, and you cast judgment on how it happened without knowing.
And then you said the owner should have watched his dog, but
I
how
brought
did
up
the kangaroo
Harambe.
go get it?
I
He's still pissed off at this.
fucking hate Harambe.
You've secretly got like this weird crush on Harambe.
No, bro. I wrote a whole video. At some point over the next month or so, it's gonna come out because I am passionately confused on Harambe. And
Okay. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save us. Tribe Called Quest just dropped a new album in 2016.
It really is. It's got, what is it? We got it from here. ... There are 4 dots. Thank you for the numeral 4, your service.
All right. Why do you think they said that? What? Why?
You know what, man? I think this is a shot at hip hop.
Keep it short.
Shot at hip hop.
You think it's a shot at hip hop or
a shot
at
props that.
Because you know what? I've taken some real thoughts on it, right? Like, hip hop is supposed to be this like cultural phenomenon of reporting your surroundings. Holden's perspective of reporting your surroundings. I'm like, yo, this is like the conscientious awareness of what's going on. The world is real fucked up. Black people's getting shot, and motherfuckers like young Lil Yachty is up for a Grammy on a track called Broccoli.
That is so funny.
Fucked up shit.
That is so funny.
Panda's up for a Grammy.
No, it's just don't say that. Now that makes the joke even funnier.
Is up for a fucking Grammy.
Oh, I'm dying
inside. Guys,
to be fair,
I don't know anything about this. These guys made me listen to these songs and I've heard nothing. So Grammys, what? Dead fucking society. I'm sorry. I don't give
in terms of what they're
Grammys.
promoting, so I think it's a shot at like this idea of complete apathetic negligence in our mainstream hip hop. And I think that they came in and Chris is gonna pop. You see, every time the rap part comes in, the man opens his mouth.
No, it's not about that. I'm trying to just elude the image of what is your thought, what is hers, and what is mine. But clearly you enjoy talking so much.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, can we not? Well, okay. Proceed.
Damon, what do you think of the title written like that?
I liked it, but I thought, like, honestly, like, you guys... You're taking me on a non-rap fan point of view. Like, I like to listen to rap.
Better.
However, I don't understand
it. We need your unbiased opinion.
Okay, so for me, like, the title just screams, "Thank you for your service." Okay, what is it? Then I start reading the titles of the song, and I'm like, okay, is it directed on a political point of view? Like, we the people, we have, like, this generation, we have, like, freaking the Donald. Like, what the fuck? You're like, okay, like, for me, for somebody that doesn't understand the world of rap and how really you guys use your words to actually inflict around the universe of what is rap, this is my first perspective on the title versus like the title of the songs.
I think when we do get to the Donald, which is the last song on the album, this is going to come up again because I'm sure we all had an opinion about what that song was about.
I was like, okay, shit. In my head, like I saw it. Like, to be honest, I saw it.
We'll get there. We're going to go through the album though.
Okay.
Because we're going to spoil at that point.
Okay.
All right. So I think.
Well,
first of all,
I also thought that the title basically meant exactly what you said.
Can agree with me, my man.
To that.
They're prompting. They're actually fist bumping.
That's true. Because I'm excited, man.
Clearly.
The last album didn't strike me down to my deep soul as much as this one did. Regardless of the numbers, I have to preface this by saying this was a refreshing album. It was like something completely not expected. I find A Tribe Called Quest to be a highly boring act based off of their old music. I don't hate them. I respect them, but I don't really... I have like 6 of their albums on my computer, and there's like 4 songs I'll listen to.
I don't think they changed from what they used to be.
Nah, they absolutely brought it to a next level.
You think? I don't know.
Mixed it with a bit of modern...
Well, no, but even the lyrics have such power beyond... Anyway, let's go through the songs.
Really?
Let's go through the songs.
I have to agree with that. They do have power.
Man, like, I left my wallet in Elka, whatever. Like, fucking useless song. Nothing on this album felt like a useless song to me. And I respect things when it's so well put together. So, I got my file open. I think everyone's ready to go.
Yeah.
Who wants to talk about the space program first?
I actually liked that song, but like the one thing that got my attention, honestly, and I'm sorry for the fans, was the Thriller laugh. The Michael Jackson I
didn't even catch that.
It's like in the first minute.
I only caught it after she said it. And I was like, okay.
And then after that, it got to a point where like it was fun to listen to. I was like, yeah, I'm pumped for this. Like I want to. However, I feel like the song should have been 45 seconds shorter. It was too long for me to focus.
I agree.
Hold on. The song's called The Space Program, right? And that ending is spacey as fuck.
I think that's what turned me off about it, though. It was just, they had a nice flow at the beginning, but then they switched it.
Okay, guys, I have to completely 100% fucking interject that the lyrics in this song are absolutely fucking insane.
Lyrically, yes.
No, bro.
I agree with you.
And then they wrote the song like a giant metaphor, and then just to make sure you were super fucking clear, because there are probably dumbass motherfuckers out there, they wrote, imagine if this shit was really talking about space, dude. And you gotta keep in mind, this is song 1 on the album. Now, like last week's song 1 didn't enthrall me, but this is like, wait. They're going deep, metaphorical, crazy fucking flows. The song has a purpose. There's actually an Oompa Loompa sample. I was like, 5 minutes, 41 seconds, motherfucking win. I didn't get bored. I plussed it on Spotify eagerly. Read along on Rap Genius. Shit was proper and tight. I gave this shit 5 on 5, and it was a dope start to the album for me.
I don't know, for me it was sort of like an elevator music vibe in the background. Like honestly, like it was fun, but I gave it a 3 on 5.
What the fuck?
I know.
I ended up giving it a 4 on 5. I do agree with Holden. Lyrically, I liked it. They're powerful message, powerful metaphor, powerful message, powerful metaphor. They spoke. I like the flow on the track, but just the change in the beat and the way they fade in and out with it. I couldn't do it.
I feel like that's a huge part of this album just in general, and it was like you either love that crazy deep beat making or you don't, and I think that this track was one of the ones where they hit it like spot on at least, but that's okay. After the Oompa Loompa segue, do you guys know what comes next?
Yeah, guys, we're gonna talk about We the People, and I have one thing to say about that. I'm sorry.
What?
The ramen noodles.
Because we all eat the same food. The ramen noodles. Oh!
It was like straight in the fucking hood.
I was like, oh, you guys. I was like, what? He's just dropping everybody.
No.
It was, I'm sure you've all heard this. The video's out. It's the lead single.
I've seen
and
the
like
video.
everybody and their fucking brother on Facebook, in my life at least, has gone on about how this is the track to bump. Like it is really powerful, especially in light of Mr. Trump's election and everything.
No, it's a very powerful song. It is a very, very intricate song. Although,
perfect.
I loved it. I loved everything. I even saw the video. Did you see the video?
I watched the beginning, but I was at work or something,
the entire
so I couldn't
video.
really watch.
Really that bad? Now I want to
Well,
watch
no,
it.
it's not that. It's a time and place thing. If I'm
Okay.
at home, it's cool, but I can't watch what I watch at YouTube. You know.
But-
I see. Okay.
Well, after watching the video as well and listening to the lyrics and listening to what they say, dude, it really impacts and really shows what's really going on. It's really, you can see it. You see it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who ate ramen noodles. I just gotta put it.
Me too. I
Not
have
the
my
ramen
hand up.
noodles, but
The
like
ramen
Skipped it.
noodles
I managed
with
to
my-
dodge ramen. I went
The
KD
way-
instead.
I had it for a month or
confirm
two.
everybody.
Like, I got
Okay.
it.
the way that they just group everyone together. We the people, everybody's the same. That's
love
what
it.
I got from it. I love how they made
And then
everybody
if you
equal.
consider that, actually, we want to go back to the title. Imagine that We the People is the We Got It From Here. And it's actually not a shot at hip-hop. It's a shot at the government and the authorities. New epiphany for the mid-conversation.
Just quick little tangent. That's a little weird because if they're the people, what? Never mind.
Towards like us, the people
No, like-
talking to.
Like
we got
A Tribe
this.
Called Quest was grouping us in the we, the same way the Black Eyed Peas featured us on a song when they featured The World, and then only invited a bunch of famous people onto the song. Moving on, what Oh, by the way, numbers.
Yeah, no.
75 on 5. No, 5.
You gave it 5 on 5? I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, you're killing me.
I'm really sorry.
This is like the single of lead singles ever.
Listen, I liked the song. I actually paid attention to the words of this song. I liked the content of it, sorry. But, like, the flow of the music... I'm sorry, it triggered me. Like, it took out my concentration on the song. I gave it a 3.
What?
Yeah.
I was expecting her to say 4, and then she said 3?
You do know 3 is like neutral, right? It's like you don't hate it, you don't like it. It's
oh my god, this song
it's okay for background music. However, I have to agree.
I knew it.
I have to agree, though. Something you said earlier did make me think of a way, like you said, like the more you listen to it, the more you grow on it, and I agree.
I have to admit, when I reviewed this album, it was not the first time I heard the song. It was easily the 5th or 6th. So you had time to
analyze it, right? So,
and well, at least it wasn't like shocking. I was expecting the da 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 da. I was expecting like the flows. I was expecting the whole like everything.
Yeah, really, because it was like really disconcerting. Like it was aggressing. It took me off of every flow. Like,
it was amazing to me. Okay, but then we move on to Whatever Will Be.
Whatever will be. This motherfucker got rhythm. Sorry, I thought that this was the worst intro to it. Like
maybe, but this song was really just showcasing like the frustration of being black in America. It's funky. I think my notes are, but not so much my cup of tea. I like it, but like not as much as the other two. So I give it a 4 because like it's a good song, but I have zero like ability to relate to being a black dude in America.
I gave it a 3. I just find it very repetitive, and I just found it like I just got lost.
That's exactly what I thought.
I listened to it, and then my mind just went, okay, now I'm just listening. I'm not really.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually tried to re-listen this song. Like at the end of it, I had to repeat it 7 times for me to actually understand what was going on to the sound. It was too repetitive. It lost me.
Maybe it's because I did this whole album reading along with the lyrics.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that next time.
I think maybe reading along helped me give it a 4 because anytime a song's not bullshit, instantly I'm gonna like it a little bit more, even if it's maybe not as good.
I feel like a harsh critic. I gave it a 2.
You should be a harsh critic. You gave it a 2?
I gave it a 2.
Whatever will be, is it not even a Chris, you're the 3?
Yep.
Oh my word, you're killing it off. So that average, that's our first like clear marking as a podcast. We gave it a 3. Fucking assholes. Nah.
Wait, really? That comes up to the average?
Yeah, it does.
That's cool.
No, it's not. It's a bad mark. It's below mine. But the solid sound of Wall comes next, and like I fucking liked it for a few reasons. Like I know I skipped there, but first is the Elton John is nice. Second, Bust the Bus sounds amazing. Like unlike that #twerk it song, he actually sounds cool fucking speaking patois, which I don't find is the norm. But and then the back and forth on the verses, the way it evolved, banger.
You see, like, I actually like this one. I like this one, and I only liked it the second time I listened to it because the first time it felt to me like a filler track. It felt to me. I'm sorry.
Busta Rhymes.
I noticed that, but I wasn't
like
sure.
You're being a little biased.
They're like Eminem and Dr. Dre tight as like musical acts.
See, I didn't know that. I was not aware of that.
Like Busta Rhymes' first real verse comes from when he was part of this other rap group who worked with the Tribe Called Quest on their song.
Then if
Scenario.
it is Busta Rhymes, then he got different.
Well, he's been doing this patois thing lately where it's less rappy, and he did it when he was in Young Money.
Okay.
But he also raps on this album later on, which is okay. But he I don't know. I feel like Busta is just not what he once was. But in this song, I loved it. I was really down.
Yeah, it's a good track. Like the second time, I was actually grooving to it, listening to the lyrics, and I like it. I originally gave it a 3, but you know what? I'm switching to a 4. I actually like this one. I'm not gonna lie.
I gave it a fucking 5.
Well, I gave it a 5 on 5.
Alright!
No!
That's proper.
I do have some reasons. I felt different vibes listening to this song, which really got me excited for it, because being able to change the flow and change my feel in myself and get me into different states that just takes me away.
Think about the name of the song even. Solid Sound of Wall.
That too. That is such a perfect title to the song. There is different sounds, and I felt like I was just standing in front of a sound, like a wall of sound. That was it. I'm just standing there, and I could just practically see the sounds. And I do have to admit, though, because Busta's on it, I automatically like it. It's kind of biased
Busta
a little bit.
Automatically, for me, it was like, wait, Busta did good with the patois? That was my feelings.
But I've always liked how Busta does things, and I've always liked how he sounds and just the way he plays with his words.
Twerk it, twerk it, twerk it, twerk it.
I didn't listen to that, so don't ruin it for me.
It's not a good song. Don't listen to it.
Okay.
I think we just need to interject on something we all completely fucking missed mentioning beforehand. And that's that one of the founding members of A Tribe Called Quest, Phife Dawg, passed away while the album was being done or right after or whatnot. So his absence is noticeable on it, and it will explain a couple of tracks later on. In the meantime, what do you guys feel about it? It also explains all the features on the album, because I feel like there's a lot of interesting features. But what did you guys feel about? Oh, Damon's like attacking me silently.
No, Chris didn't give his rating.
He gave a 5. Look, all 3 numbers are up.
Oh, okay.
Damon is clearly not listening to Chris.
No,
all right, guys. No, I'm just a little bit bubbled here.
No, that's okay.
Next one.
Pop.
He's popping the bubble. Pop. I get it.
Okay, it's pop, guys. All right.
This generation.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I listened to it once. I'm never listening to it again.
Why?
No.
Why? I wasn't sure where you were going.
Wait. I'm so scared. This might hurt us. What did you give it?
Oh no, what did you give it?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna wait till you guys explain it and see if you guys open up my eyes a little bit. But it's like.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Who says it first?
Go for it.
Right, no, let's go.
No, just go.
I gave it a 4.
Oh, dude, I gave it a perfect 5. This one's amazing.
No.
They're like, we're fucking ageless and we're the shit compared against this generation.
Yes, but I didn't take it that way. When I listened to it, I felt like there was a message.
Did you
preaching.
read the lyrics?
No, you said listen to it. And listen.
Motherfucker.
Okay. I listened to it, and what I got from the message behind it, they're preaching to this generation about how fucked up we are.
Yeah, and how they're ageless and still fucking dope.
I understand, but I don't care for what they like. What I don't care for an artist repeatedly say how we're this.
This is the first time on the fucking album they really did that.
Well, I just do it out of habit. I apologize.
All right, just to point out, there are a few brag tracks later on, and the motherfucker did not listen to it in order. He shuffle played that.
Unfortunately.
So, for all terms and purposes, the first actual braggy kind of feel on the whole album. At this point, I was refreshed and ready for it, and I gave it a perfect 5, straight up.
Why did you give it a 5?
Because it's an amazing song with amazing content put together. My notes aren't that clear. The verses are smooth and dope.
The verses were smooth and dope. But you got to look more at the message behind it. It's called This Generation.
I like how they established themselves as quality even in this generation, and I like that apparently. So I gave it a 5.
apparently.
I probably need to really listen to it another 5 or 6 times to have a better version of that. But fuck it, it hit me right and rubbed me in nice ways.
All right,
Damon, how are you gonna kill the grade?
Oh God, I really didn't like it. I'm sorry. The whole voice of it was grainy. I couldn't listen to it. It was completely distracting. Oh guys, seriously,
I'm hiding in my hoodie. What did you give it?
I would listen to it again. But I gave it a 3 because...
that's not so bad. That averages at a 4.
The bomb slides off the hill and doesn't explode yet. We're just rolling.
Yeah. You know why? Because we listened to it again today.
Now, let's talk.
And I had a 2, but I gave it a 3.
Check out Kids, though. What about Kids?
Kids.
Absolute fucking, first of all, Andre 3000. Oh my gosh.
Chris. I love the song because it's...
Sleep.
Ouch.
Andre 3000 is perfect on this shit.
Yes, he is. I'm very neutral to the song. Not in any bad...
Neutral?
I'm very neutral because it's a topic that I don't enjoy discussing. I feel like speaking upon the kids, talking about the generation, but you can't name it a generation. You're talking about kids. You're talking about the younger ones. You're talking about people that are younger than us.
That's fine.
I don't know. I just felt very I kind of got detached from it. I apologize.
Chris ruined the mark.
You gotta blame me for this shit.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 3. I stayed neutral.
I gave it another perfect 5.
I stayed neutral. It
was good, man.
I didn't want to say I didn't like it.
Don't trust Chris on this one.
This is
Andre 3000
kills
song.
It is a great song. I can't deny it, but I just, as a personal review, I can't give it higher than a 3. I felt very detached.
Okay. I put it a 3. I rated it. It's
just
there.
Soak up the pride. I'm sorry.
All right, Holden, I am so sorry.
No.
I'm not even gonna high five you on that because I know how much heart you have in this song. But don't trust my judgment. For this, guys, unless you're somebody that listens
trust
to music,
her judgment if you're not an average. If you're one of those people that doesn't really listen to rap, trust her.
Yeah, well, it depends. If you listen to music because of the flow, the background, the actual fluidity of a song, don't listen to it. I am so sorry because I gave it a 1.
Oh my god!
That's harmful!
I'm
my
sorry.
god, at least I stayed neutral!
I couldn't.
At least I was neutral! Oh my god.
That
How is it a 1?
It disconnected. I had to pause it. I had to try to re-listen to it. I tried to forward it. I tried to listen to the lyrics. I tried everything. I couldn't.
Andre.
I'm sorry, guys.
Outcast.
I don't know you guys. I apologize.
Hey,
I would probably have to listen and understand the lyrics. I apologize. I feel like I'm gonna be like that one judge in freaking X Factor.
Tissue for your issue?
Why did you actually pick up tissues? There's no camera.
I don't know. It just felt very
good practice.
Anyways.
Melatonin.
So
melatonin is the sleep the chemical that induces sleep. In Canada, it's commonly available in a product called Marley's Mellow Mood, which is a Bob Marley inspired anti-energy drink.
I've actually had that. It doesn't really do much.
It does. It gives me some serenity. Maybe
it gives you some serenity of peace or something. You're kind of mellowed out, but I don't fall asleep.
I don't have a lot of notes on this song except that I really enjoyed the guitar riff on it. I thought it was well put together and I enjoyed it.
I think that's the only thing I enjoyed about the song. Everything else, again, I got detached from it and I was just.
All right, I'm already writing your 3 down.
You might not want to do that.
It's a 2?
Oh, no, I'm joking. I'm so joking. It's a 3.
That's what I
thought.
thought.
I like it. I can listen to it. I actually found it was well balanced. The female vocals in this were actually helped. I was able to connect on it. I was able to disconnect from the blur and just get okay, I can breathe in this song. I can actually go forward. So, I gave it a 4.
I guess you could say kind of put me to sleep.
So, again, we're completely not agreeing on this, so I'm giving this another fucking 5.
Oh my god, you 5 the entire album?
No, I would like to be clear
that is so BS. Look at this. 5,
Whatever
4
was a 4. No,
okay,
but the grades change. I have to say, after this point, my optimism is not so optimistic.
All right, guys. So the next track we have on here is Enough!
Exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark. There were two exclamation marks.
Oh shit! I only wrote one down here.
All right. So this song actually felt at first as a filler track for me. At first, however, I actually liked it. I actually just the background. For me, the fact that the voice was a lot clearer and I could actually hear the words and actually try to connect towards them was good for me, and it made it good for me. It made it easier for me to connect, so I gave it a 3.
A 3?
Yeah,
That's
I did.
it? Yeah. No, I don't want to go actually that hard. I thought it was a cool sex versus love debate kind of song.
Oh, I should have paid more attention.
I also said that the track is a bit lacking, and I gave it a 4.
Lacking how?
Because
everything else, lacking, really?
No, but everything else was very next level, very high power, very really amazing, right? It set such a high precedent for my expectations for what was to come next, that compared to those songs, it was a little bit lacking and actually does fill that role of a filler, in my opinion, compared to the other songs.
It started as a filler, continued as a filler, And it as a filler.
Chris gave it a 3.
I just...
Listen. I'm feeling like Chris's album ratings like flat. This shit's just a 3.
No. It's not. It's actually... I actually did take the time to really process things. Look, I didn't get into it. It was enough.
No, me. I respect that.
Or it wasn't not enough. I don't know how you want to do it. I'm trying to put a play on word here, but...
I can't defend this one as well, so it
not,
makes sense.
For me, it wasn't enough to get a 4 or a 5, but it was just enough to get a 3.
Okay, I'm trying to be funny. It's worth noting that at this point, disc 1 ends, which means we're only about halfway through, folks. There's still all of disc 2.
I got this on Spotify, so I just got all 16 songs. I didn't know there was 2 discs.
I got Spotify Premium for that $1 and then didn't have to shuffle, because currently...
I have Premium, the 7-day trial.
Alright, guys. Get Spotify.
Dude, it costs $1.
Yeah, I just...
Anyways, guys, so we're at Mobius, and may I give you one fun fact?
Track.
The only thing that I found cool with this track
was Busta.
No, that was not the one thing that I liked.
Wait. You say fuck this track. You're saying no to Busta. What is wrong with both of you?
Okay, first of all, Mobius, the only thing that triggered in my mind, and for those that are TV-gasmic audience... How I Met Your Mother, Mosby is designed.
I think we just got another one of those Daemon words I've never heard before.
What?
TV-gastic? What the fuck?
The people that have TVs. Anyways,
number 2.
Who
what
cares?
was number 1?
No, number 1 was...
Exploratize.
That was like last week's word. I'm talking about tonight's word.
No, but I'm saying like she's up to 2 within like... I'm counting podcasts.
Okay.
I don't care how many times she uses it. I just want to know like how many podcasts she's going to do it in.
So in like a couple of years we'll be releasing the Daemon Dictionary.
I'm so down.
I love it because my viewers have been talking about this shit for the longest. Anyways, just the How I Met Your Mother reference, Mosby is designed, which is Ted Mosby's architectural thing.
Do you like How I Met Your Mother?
I love How I Met Your Mother.
How do you not give it a nice rating if you like the show?
You know what it is, man? I think I figured it out. It's the fact that there's not really a Tribe Called Quest rapper guy on it. It's 2 featured artists. Shut up. There's 2 featured artists, so it's Consequence and Busta Rhymes, which is okay, but it was just weird. I don't like the song, and I don't like either of these guys enough to want to listen to their song.
What did you give it?
A 2.
Oh my god.
Guys, my comment to this was really what the fuck. I was listening to it.
Was it a 2?
It was... a 1.
Killing off Chris's good mood for once.
No, but it's not necessarily to kill the good mood. I could not listen to it.
What did you give it, buddy?
Oh my god, he's like
5.
having a giggle tit. Did you give it a 5?
He gave it a 3.
I gave it a 4.
I
gave it a 4.
Okay.
But I have
it's his opinion. Like,
no,
it's
again, I'm going to say this. What? Literally, this is how it went. And it's gonna stay like this.
So if Busta Rhymes went broccoli, you would respect his shit.
No, because I honestly think he's smart enough to make an entire proper verse.
Busta Rhymes would be like.
No, but listen. I gave it a 4 because I listened to Busta's part, and then I zone out. And then he comes back in, and then I zone out. Like, I just kind of
let's move on.
Search for him.
Black Spasmodic. My first note is this song is fun, but I can't remember what it sounds like, so apparently I like the flow and lyrics. Not as powerful as the earlier part of the album, but good stills. That's what I wrote down.
You stills. This is serious.
Well, I mean, it's a good song. It's not a great song. It's not like a disc 1 worthy track, so it deserves its place on disc 2.
Are you serious? Oh, God.
Shit got a 4 for me.
Okay. I don't feel so like...
it's not bad. It's just not distinguishably great. But it's not neutral either, because it's still good. It's just boring.
Oh.
I didn't get it.
You didn't?
I didn't... I got confused.
Oh, okay.
When I listened to this, I didn't know what to think. I gave it a 3 because I need to listen to it again. I can't give a 1 or a 5.
It's better than that 1 she gave on that track I gave it.
Yo, I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Well, I gave it a 5.
Alright.
A fantastic
crazy.
I'm not crazy. I just
justify your 5.
My justification is that I found it to be high volume energy, very, very pumped up, and just it gave it a sense of okay, they're having fun, they're enjoying it, they're doing it, they're not just trying to send a message, but they're living it, they're with the gang, they're with the crew, they're, doing it.
It wasn't 5 worthy.
It just made me happy. It made me happy, and I was like, this is a 5 worthy.
No Space Program.
Space Program's a great song. I can't. There's also great songs.
This was good. But what about The Killing Season?
I like this one.
Now, I just gotta put it out there. The fuck is Kanye doing on this fucking pointless song for that one fucking chorusy line shit, and that's all Kanye does?
As in Kanye West?
Yeah, Kanye's on this song.
I didn't even notice him.
What?
Kanye does that, like, vague line where it's like, da-da-da-da-da, and it repeats over and over again.
So something completely useless, just like, I don't ballin', and with him featuring Juicy J, that's all he says is ballin'.
Yeah, like, it was like, from what I understand, there was some behind-the-scenes work and shit, but there was no reason for Kanye to be on this other than for clickbait.
Well, it's kind of just like Panda as well. He's just kind of driving the car.
Well, no, that's different, because Kanye featured the Panda song before the Panda song was the Panda song.
What the Panda song?
You heard it.
Panda.
Oh,
I got buns in the Panda.
Tristan got weed in the Panda. Credit cards and a scam was...
Oh, Damon's never asking this question.
Nah, it's a bad song.
I will sing it anytime somebody asks.
It's just a bad song.
Guaranteed. I shout out to Designer for this one track.
It's not a shout out to you, Designer, but thank you, Beatmaker, for the beat that you gave us.
Yes.
So
Let's
guys,
say, let us talk about...
No, Killing Season. We haven't given the rating.
3.
I give it a 3 as well.
I gave it a 4.
Fucking
I was going to give it a 5, but then I just listened to it again, and I was like, it's just basic straight bars. It's not even... It just felt like a cipher to me. It didn't even feel like a song.
In the middle for no reason.
Forget Kanye. I don't care.
I didn't even notice him.
I don't care. We can talk about Kanye next podcast when he starts.
Hold on. I think it's worth noting that actually none of these people are like clearly featured on the album. It was just kind of ambiguously featured. Like they just were there and they didn't care. It was cool that they did that. Like
that's not true. That's not true. There is a guy who is featured that I feel like he did pretty well.
No. What I meant was on the actual album, it didn't say featuring this person.
Yeah, no,
or
there
featuring
was no
this
mention.
person.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant. I thought that was pretty cool. But on that note, should we go up to Lost Somebody?
Guys, to be honest, like it was a bit different, but actually, I had a good feeling with this one. It didn't seem rushed to me. It's like
It's sweet.
It loses me at the glitches of the song. However, it was a good track.
I hated the drum shit at the end.
Yeah.
That.
It's like to wake you up, like constantly.
But, I mean, the song was sweet. It was a tribute to a fallen homie. It's the equivalent of pouring out your liquor.
I didn't know that.
In light of that, I really liked it. I thought it was a good song. I didn't think it was a great song, but it's nice for what it is. It's sweet. I give it a 4.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 5.
Oh, Damon gave
Justify
something
that
on this
5.
album a 5?
Justify that 5.
I really loved this song. I thought they took time to create it, and considering now the fact that the guy is the guy has passed away, they took their time to include like him and himself, not trying to change or like manipulate him like.
Yeah, it was cool. I feel like there was a couple of times on the album where they clearly wrote around the fact that he had died and they kept his verse as is. But it's a 4. It's not a 4.
For me, the only thing that lost me was the abrupt sound at the end, and I don't think it should drop.
That was enough to drop a whole fucking point off of that grading for me. Because it was like, I can't listen to this song because I know that's going to come. Or I have to skip before the end. And I don't like having to do that.
All right. Then moving backward, guys. What do you think about that?
Forwards. Double punch.
Never again.
Oh my god. Moving backwards, I gave it a 2.
What?
Yep.
Why?
I like the intro.
Fucking Chris's brain is moving backwards.
I like the intro. I like Busta's part, but I didn't like the singing, and
it's just
I got lost.
Song, man.
I got lost. I was like, because unfortunately, I like the fast rap. I like the upbeat going stuff, and I feel like the whole album's very mellow. But we'll get to that later. But I'm just like, I feel there's too much relaxation.
It was just moving. It was cool. It's progressive, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, for me, it was a cool groove. It wasn't bad to listen to. I love the break when the vocal comes in, but too long for me. It felt elongated, but it was good, so I gave it a 4.
I think they purposely elongated that song, but sometimes it's kind of just like...
It's too much. Like, sometimes, like, when I work...
I don't think that they purposefully elongated any song. I just don't think that they have the same taste in music as you do.
No, it's possible, and
I'm looking at Chris when I say that.
Oh, of course. Me and my beautiful face.
However...
Yeah. What if I call you Conrad Tokyo?
That's a funny comment. I love this song.
Cute.
Yo, would you say sayonara as your only Japanese word in a track? You would say Tokyo? Like, I don't understand this.
I don't know what the reference is. I didn't look into what the name meant or anything.
I will.
If anybody knows, somebody needs to fucking
While
comment.
Chris is Googling what Conrad Tokyo is, Kendrick motherfucking Lamar drops a killer fucking verse. I love it. The verses are kind of short. Which is okay though, because it fits so perfectly into this blend of a dope experience. I love the beat. I feel like this beat has me feeling that high energy, good feeling. Straight up 5, like 5.55.
You can't 5.55.
No, I would give that to a couple others. This was like an actual 5, not a 6 on 5.5.
Yeah, I like the lounge start, but I have to say, did you guys notice that it was like the James Bond type of movie?
I didn't, but I'm okay with that. But did you guys know? Oh no, that's the next song.
Oh, hold on, yeah, like just like, anyways.
So apparently, Conrad Tokyo is a hotel.
Okay.
Set in the heart of bustling Tokyo.
Does that make sense? With
the hotel is located 28 to 37 floors above ground.
Maybe it's just that they went there and maybe they wrote the song in this Tokyo hotel.
Okay, maybe.
Like I don't care what the reason is. I fucking like this one. It is the first one on the second disc that got a 5 from Holden.
It sort of sounded like it was recorded in Cannes, but the voice was not as aggressive. It was pleasant to listen to. Honestly, like I can picture myself with my crew just having a busting frickin' walk down New York and just headphones and banging. I gave it a 4.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
What did you give it, Chris? I'm feeling a 2 from Chris right now. What did you give it?
Oh no, I gave it a 3.
A 3.
I gave it a 3, but I could justify it though. I like Kendrick's part, but I feel like Kendrick's part is the only part I actually related to because of the quickness and just the modern type.
I've noticed this like motif of these longer progressive outros don't do well with Chris's gradings.
It's not the long progressive outros. It's just at a certain point, it's kind of like,
I actually like the outro.
You did it again.
It's about the experience, man. I'm gonna get to that after, but okay, so you gave it a 3.
Yeah.
We're almost done, guys. There's only 2 more songs.
But the non-vocal part was good, though. I want to say, like,
okay.
I like that specific.
So let's talk about egos, since apparently me and Chris at least have them.
Oh, I gave it a 5.
Absolute fucking 5. Do you guys know who is featured on this song?
I don't.
Jack White.
Who the hell is
of
Jack White?
the White Stripes, the guitarist.
Okay.
That's dope.
That was who was doing the crazy guitar. I gave it a 5. I really fucking loved this song. I thought it was really good.
Well, it gave me like a private detective vibe, like really like psychoanalyzing. It felt like a little bit like on edge to me. Like I gave it a 4.
Oh,
actually,
man.
It's funny because that detective psychoanalytic vibe. That's exactly why I gave it a 5. I listened to that song on the bus today, actually coming here, and I just.
Oh yeah.
Looking at everybody on the metro as well, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, maybe I'll change my mind once, because I'm not deleting these songs, guys. I'm giving it a chance, so I'm actually gonna re-listen to this.
I plus the ones I thought were 5 worthy.
Yeah.
Because to get plussed, you must be a 5 in Holden's book.
Wow.
But
standards.
All right,
what
guys.
What about the Donald?
A little drum roll.
Oh my god.
So the Donald has nothing to do with Trump.
There is...
Hold on, guys. We listen to this and we look at the title and then we look at this title. Like, honestly, my feelings towards reading just that title was holy fuck. They put it at the end. I have to listen to the whole thing before and my OCD is I have to listen one by one the songs in an album.
Yeah.
So I was itching to actually get to that song. Like, what the fuck are they going to talk about? What is it going to do? Like, I didn't want to know anything else.
I couldn't believe it.
And it was poop. I didn't understand. Well, for me, for that, my anticipation.
Is because this was like an inside joke, I think, to like Tribe fans or something. Because apparently, Phife Dawg's nickname is Don Juice, and so they called it the Donald in
What's
regard.
a Don Juice?
I don't know, Don, like Don,
Don
whatever.
is like the guy of them, like the top of the
so
mafia.
Like,
okay.
And then
like
again, this is just another one of how Phife Dawg is the greatest, and it was like another tribute song to him. And like I think they recorded Phife Dawg's verse and then wrote the rest of the song around him after he died to like make him sound extra dope. And it's basically like the dude was the shit, and the Donald was like part of his nickname, and then the Trump thing happened after the song was recorded and whatnot.
So it was coincidental.
Yeah, absolutely coincidental. And I gave it a 4 because it's, again, a good song, not a great song, but it's nice stills.
Again.
I don't know what stills mean.
It's just nice stills, man.
All right, you'll explain it to me later.
Continue. It's just like it's stills.
Stills,
okay.
Man. That's how we do.
Anyways, well, the non-rap.
Stills. Go on.
I don't. It was good. I'm okay with background music. Honestly, I wouldn't listen to it more than that. The fact that they were like, what you said makes sense. The fact that they might have recorded it and then recorded it after over,
like his
and
verse
then
was there, because like the way Q-Tip's verse bounces off of his is like
it doesn't.
Well, it just immediately comes in and it's like Q-Tip's like, yeah, he's the shit. Don't fuck with him.
Yeah,
and
but
it's like,
it's
oh,
still...
he's dead. I get it now. You were being sweet. I didn't get it at first. You know, kind of. That's the feeling where, short of having that knowledge, the song makes no sense. I can see how that might negatively hurt its grading.
I gave it a 3. I just said, man.
And you, Mr. Johnson?
I gave it a 3.
Did you now?
Motherfucker. Alright. So, I don't know about you, but when I do my album ratings, I literally take the total sum of all of my gradings and I divide it by the total number of tracks. Mm-hmm. And that set me at a 4.3 for this album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
No, there's no way you're at a 4.3. And you're like king of the threes here, so I'm not expecting fucking good numbers from either of you haters.
It would be a 2.7, but you could bring it up to 3.
I can't do it.
I can accept an average.
Quite honestly, in a personal opinion, I gave the album a full 4 though. Like I do my individual ratings, but album quality overall, I give it a full 4 on 5.
You know what I wrote as a quote in the middle of listening to this album? I wrote, this album takes you to a place. It isn't so much that there is a mood for it, as it forces a mood upon you. And I could see how this album is only going to work if you're in the right frame of mind to receive it, right? Like, if you are not down for, like, over-the-top production and insane sound combinations and really to, like, take, like, a Beatles-esque trip through music, it's probably going to not sit so well with you. That would be, like, my final thoughts on this album.
Sorry. All right. Well, for me, it was a weirder flow. Like, it was hard to listen to. I didn't like the rendering of the voice. The intro to the song, like, seemed to lead through a completely... All of them. Like, they seemed to lead to a completely different thing than what they led to.
I loved it. I thought that was, like, part of the experience.
Yeah, but for me, it was disappointing because most of the songs started... Like, the ones that I really didn't like started, like, boom, in your face. And then I was like, Like, I got disappointed a lot with this album. However, they talk about real events. Like, I feel that they're keeping the same flow throughout the album, but they keep it real. Like, it feels like, from what you guys are saying, is like they talk about real shit. They talk about, they want to, like, you to think about what their lyrics mean. They're not just... Wow. What was it? Panda, 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 panda.
I got bronze in Atlanta. This is the bleeding of Fanta.
Chris, what about you? Why did you give this shit a 4 even though you basically graded everything a 3?
Because I grade every individual song and I listen to the album again after I've graded it, and then I just think back to what I initially feel for the album itself. Produced wise, music wise,
no, that's completely fair, but why did it get a 4?
I gave it a 4 because it's not a bad album. It's not a neutral album either. I think a lot of people who are going to listen to it might learn something from it, might actually get something from it, and it's not just useless mumble crap that we hear all over the fucking place. But
Chris don't got broads in Atlanta.
It's irrelevant from the broads that I have in Atlanta, okay? It's irrelevant. You leave my broads alone.
I'm going to tell your girlfriend, Chris.
No, she's going to hear this and, I'll have to deal with it later.
It's his turn this week.
Come on.
Anyway,
I only took 3 bullets in editing last time.
The point being is that it's a 4. It's a great album. I can't connect to all the songs, and I can't give it a 5 because I still feel like they tried to bring back who they were in a modern day.
I respect the shit out of that.
I do, but you could have kind of evolved a little bit.
But nah, I don't agree with you at all on that point. I think they evolved greatly. They were boring. This wasn't boring. Like, that's my point of view on this.
It was interesting, but yeah. No, guys.
Nah, but next week, I'm not even going to lie. This time we're ready to tell you what album we're doing next week.
Yeah.
And we got to, like, push it out. By the time you hear this podcast, J. Cole will have dropped the new fucking album, and I can't even wait to use my Spotify premium account that I purchased for $1 for 3 months to download it on my phone.
Hashtag Spotify, guys.
Guys, please leave comments. Please.
Tell us what you think.
Please
Tell us
leave
what
comments.
you want to hear.
Like, share, subscribe, all that crap too.
Yeah, guys, don't be shy. Don't be shy to send us messages too. We're always there to listen, guys. If you have criticism or opinions. Definitely.
Share. In the meantime, folks, my headspace is fucking full.